Liz. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to budget hearings. If everybody would stand for a moment so we can recognize those who were lost yesterday, I would appreciate it, please. Thank you very much. All right. Everybody knows why we're back and what hard work we have to do. I specifically asked Brad Polk, treasurer, to come back and give us an update on a line of credit, and that's where I'd like to start. So Brad, if you would, take the podium, please.
Good morning.
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 I've had I'm in talks right now with two local banks to try to get just some information and have the knowledge so we can move forward if we need to, as far as either a line of credit or a tax anticipated warrant. The tax warrant would be on both banks, would be a fixed rate. The line of credit would be a floating. They based it off of what the Fed's rate is, and so that is going to be a floating rate, depending on what the Feds do. Obviously, if they drop it, it's going to drop our rates. But looking at setting a cap on it, I think would be, obviously the more money we ask to borrow or have on our line of credit, it's going to be a little more costly. So we want to probably try to figure out what the max might be. We do have, both of them have talked as far as having a multi-year. Obviously with what's heading our way, might be a thing to look at. As well as they will need some cash flow projections, probably from the auditor's office, and then doesn't have to be a final draft of the budget, but something they can kind of look at the financials on. That they would both like to have that before they give us actual pinpoint interest rates. And again, as depends on how much we want to borrow or what our line of credit is. So trying to look and see if, on my notes with both of them, they're both going to get me more information as we progress on this, and then I will get it to, obviously, the council as soon as I get it.
Brad, did I understand you? Is there a charge just to have the line of credit?
There is, yeah. There's what they call an application fee. That's both of the banks, both local banks. There is a application fee for that. I don't know.
But after you pay for the application fee, there's no ongoing charge just to have
No, there's not an
available.
ongoing charge to have it open or anything like that. The only charge would be, obviously, if we used it, the utilization of it, the interest that would be on that. And what I'm hearing is it's more of waiting on the money to come in to make up that shortfall. And so that would be the only interest charge on that money that was drawn. It's not on the cap. So if we went, say, $6 million, it's not going to be interest on $6 million. It's just what we use of it. So if we only used $1 million, it's just going to be on $1 million for a month. Yeah.
Pay the interest per day.
I'm sorry.
Per day is how you pay the interest on a daily basis.
Yeah, they would just do it on a daily basis, just like any other loan would be, for that until it's paid in full.
Bill, do you have further questions?
The tax anticipation warrant would be a non-taxable to them.
Mm-hmm.
Would the same be true of the line of credit, or is that going to be a taxable rate?
Most of those are not as well. Now on the tax anticipated warrant, we would have to, like you mentioned I think last meeting that we talked, there would have to be some public hearings on that and have to be open that way.
And probably an opinion of counsel furnished to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned over the years that does not have to be a bond counsel from Indianapolis or Chicago. A local attorney, if they're willing, can render an opinion.
Yes, you're right, exactly right. And then with the two banks, they're both, like I said, they're both local. I would probably leave it up to, I would not make that decision. I would probably leave it up to council to make the choice. I mean, I think to hear both proposals and you guys select the best of those two. Or at least the finance committee, or make recommendations to the full council.
Thinking out loud, it's not something we would need to do this month or even the rest of this calendar year.
Right.
Something that we could look at if needed next year.
And I think we should have, I think it's just a nice, option for us. Hopefully,
I don't think borrowing money is always a nice option. I'd rather not borrow.
Further questions for the treasurer? All right. Appreciate it, Brad.
All
Thank
right.
you for
All right.
getting us that information.
Sure.
All right. Now we'll get ready to focus more on budgets. Do we have an updated budget number from you all?
We have a lot of updated numbers.
Where do you want to start?
While she's looking stuff up, I'd like to respond to you on the question we had to State Board of Accounts. We inquired about the engineer and whether we could obtain a reimbursement this year for that, since we would be hiring him this year, or she this year. And they said that yes, we would get the entire $40,000 this year as well. They would need to wait, or we would need to wait until he or she has the first pay stub and submit the first pay stub. And I have the blank form that would have to be filled out as well, just pertaining to the questions they had for the engineer, the one that they send annually so that we get the reimbursement. But I have that blank, so it's a matter of that guy getting hired and getting paid. And as soon as we have that first pay stub, we can get with the commissioners and submit the information needed. And then as long as she said definitely by December, but the sooner the better. So as soon as we get that, then we'd get $40,000 reimbursement this year as well for the engineer.
All righty. Thank you for that information. Is that the 40,000 included in our Form 2 anywhere?
Not for this year. We accounted for it for next year,
Okay.
but we didn't for this year because we were waiting on this answer.
So as long as we hire somebody by the end of the year, we can account for that 40,000 then?
Well, she said she needs all of that by December, so he needs
Sure.
paid by November.
Should not be a problem. Mr. Commissioner.
Stephen Brand, County Commissioner's Office. Dean Thomas's first day will be September 29th. So he'll receive his first paycheck in October.
Thank you. All right. You ready, Elizabeth?
Yes. I would actually like to start in prosecutor if we could. When I was balancing with Whitney, we found an issue in our calculations there.
Which one of the prosecutors' budgets?
137, page 18.
Okay.
All right, for FICA, there should be a adjustment of negative 1,003. Negative 1,003 for a total of 86,168.
There was 785 line item already negative on there.
Yeah, we had the wrong amount.
One more time, the negative 1,003
Yes,
for 86,068.
yes.
Yep.
And then perf, negative 1,469 for a total of 100,394. Sorry. The total for that one again was 100,394. Then workers' compensation was negative 215 for a total of 12,637.
The total adjustments is negative $35,799. And the total for the budget is $1,625,969. Yes, ma'am.
And then we can move on to Cume Engineer, 190, it's page 50. Well, sorry, I forgot that this one actually, since we raised it back up, there should be no adjustments on FICA, perf, or workers' comp. So if you had adjustments, there should be none now.
Okay, so remove the negative 315, which makes
Yes.
it 461, and zeroed out.
Yes.
Yes.
FICA, perf, and workers' comp.
Yes.
Totals. So total adjustments will be 0, and then the total for the fund is 821,706.
So yeah, it's kind of-
Same thing. All right.
And when you're ready, we're good to move on to Cume Bridge, page 52. Uh, 400. There should be a negative 50,138 adjustments in the salaries.
50,138.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
Sorry, I wasn't accounting for the positive there. Negative. Sorry, that should be negative 48,294. We're starting off in vision.
Can you read the total for the salaries
Yes.
and wages, please?
548,394.
Thank you.
548,394.
I'm not as fast as Whitney.
Yeah, but she slows down.
All right. In vision, we have negative 65 for a total of 994. In dental, negative 320 for a total of 5,774. For short-term disability, negative 226 for a total of 3,276. On FICA, negative 8,568 for a total of 51,112. On PERF, negative 12,047 for a total of 74,831. On health insurance, negative 13,075 for a total of 230,690. On life insurance, negative 121 for a total of 1,604. Long-term disability, negative 119 for a total of 1,733. On longevity, negative 3,550 for a total of 21,100. 3,550 for a total of 21,100.
18,800.
What number did you start with? Because there was an adjustment made prior.
22,
That's 24,650 is what was there.
so it's just what was requested.
Yes,
What was that number?
650.
Now we're-
Yes. And then longevity prorated pay, negative 276 for a total of 7,587. Workers' compensation insurance, negative 3,429 for a total of 18,592.
For your total adjustments, it's negative $90,090. And for the budget, it's $2,066,737.
737. And then when you're done with that, we're good to move on to motor vehicle highway, page 66, Department 202.
76.
This one has multiple sections, so we're starting off in the 10,000s. The salary adjustments for the 10,000s is positive 22,790. That should be a total of 116,324. Right. On vision insurance, positive $44 for a total of 154. For dental insurance, positive $230 for a total of 780. For short-term disability, positive $103 for a total of 360. For FICA, positive 2,383. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. For a total of 9,741. For perf, positive 3,489. For a total of 14,261. Health insurance, positive 8,405. For a total of 29,886. Life insurance, positive $61 for a total of 197. And we also had to add long-term on here. Yeah, it should have already been added last time, but that should be 204 total and adjustments because we, yes.
And that'll be line 175.
Already had one.
Sorry, I don't know how you had yours set up, so.
Well,
The line number,
150 as a
Yeah, we had to add it in, like, during the meeting, so,
Right.
yeah,
So what did we add on top of that?
54,
For 204?
yes.
and that'll be line 175 when it's
Yeah.
added in.
So totals for the 10,000s are, the adjustments are $40,262. And the actual total is 234,735.
In the 20,000 salaries, we had an adjustment of positive 49,301. The 20,000 salaries,
732.
49,301. This was adding back in that truck driver that got left out originally. That makes the total 144,456.
1,444,056.
Yes, sorry. The total, 1,444,056. 456. 456. I'm missing a 444. Yes. All right. For vision, positive $89 for a total of $1,635. For dental, positive $693 for a total of $9,685. For short-term disability, positive $234 for a total of $6,419. For FICA, positive $3,871 for a total of $112,834. For PERF, positive $146 for a total of $139,222. For health insurance, positive $26,152 for a total of $410,952. Long-term disability insurance, positive 123 for a total of 3,090.
We change that requested number.
Mine, I got 3090.
Yes.
No. 2967.
And
Go ahead with the wrong one.
for longevity, positive 1,300 for a total of 23,700. For life insurance, positive 78 for a total of 2,934.
The total adjustments is negative 67,314. And your total altogether is
Sorry.
the total is 1,368,885.
Up the other. Down.
Do you want me to read the totals for all of it?
Right there, yes.
Okay, the totals for everything is 2,813,341. 2,813,341. That's the whole totals over 20,000.
This one is just the amount.
Did you guys come up with that?
No. 2,801,902 is what you got?
Both.
Yeah, I got that.
For 2,000.
Could everyone make sure their microphone's on?
I was just saying I agree with the numbers.
No. Are you ready for the 30,000s?
No.
Okay. In the 30,000 salaries, there should be an adjustment of positive 27,348. It makes the total 347,500. On vision, positive 25 for a total of 407. Dental, positive 89 for a total of 2,034. Short-term disability, positive 123 for a total of 1,307.
What was the starting number?
1,178.
It's 1,300.
You're right, it is 1,301. And then FICA, positive 2,274 for a total of 27,496. PERF, positive 3,329 for a total of 40,255. Health insurance, positive 4,670 for a total of 96,202. Life insurance, positive 60 for a total of 785. Long-term disability insurance, positive 64 for a total of 683. Longevity, negative 23,300 for a total of 7,400. Longevity prorated pay, positive 276 for a total of 1,766. We also have an adjustment on operating supplies fuel. This is to cover the overage. For negative 35,236 for a total of 189,764.
I'm sorry, can you read the negative amount again?
Negative 35,236. And then workers' compensation insurance, negative 1,971 for a total of 100,000. Yes.
Your total adjustments for the 30,000s are negative 22,249. And your total for the 30,000 fund is 1,761,043. Negative 22,249 and 1,761,043.
And the grand total for all of it should match advertised, which is 4,809,119.
Say again.
4,809,119.
I don't have that.
I don't have that.
But I know, looking back at the 1,000 level, my total did not match. I had to adjust my table to look at it that way. I ended up with 232,182 compared to your 234,735.
In the 10,000s, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Want me to just go through them again? For the 10,000?
Yeah, just go through the adjustments.
Okay, the adjustments, for one of the salaries is 22,790.
Yeah.
Vision, 44.
Okay.
Dental, 230. Short-term, 103.
Yeah.
FICA, 2383.
Yep.
6,042.
Wait.
For perf.
No, it's 400.
Oh, she changed it. 3,000.
I was talking about Whitney, but give me a second.
There's your difference of 2553.
Check open gov. It's supposed to be more.
Okay, so the total adjustment for perf is 6,042. To equal 16,814.
Okay, now we match. Thank you.
And that should be all of our adjustments.
And then, so what was, let me go back to this. For all of Fund 1176.
The grand totals, the adjustments were negative 49,301. And then your total will be the 4.809, 119.
All right, we match, thank you.
It's the whole total.
The right side.
Do you have more, Elizabeth?
On the adjustments or no, we're good on adjustments.
That takes care of all of them.
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us an updated number on the 2026 budget request right now for all departments?
I didn't touch the pivot, to be honest.
I haven't really touched it. I was just refreshing it.
So read the,
Yes.
read the adjustments.
Yes.
Okay, for the the
I
grand
asked for
totals.
a 2026 updated budget request number in general.
Last page.
Okay, so for general, your total adjustments were negative 3,596,627.
$3 million.
Negative 3,596,627.
The very
last
last page has both general and other.
44 if you're wanting in the middle of the book.
Could I ask, do those numbers include the raises for the planning commission? Mr. Hughes had recommended that at the last,
I don't think so.
No.
they do not. But that was your recommendation at the Friday meeting. Am I not correct? That they
Yeah.
be included?
Yeah, that was among my recommendations, and since then, Eileen has set out what she would prefer in terms of modification, and I would agree with her. So that's gonna change that number, but I've got all my recommendations on paper. If we can go over those
I'll wait for you.
whenever the president thinks it appropriate.
So the total for the 26 altogether was, for general, was 42,893,130.
It's gotta be one of the other departments from before, 'cause I don't,
And we can go back and I'll work with you guys to make sure we match up, but yeah, it has to be something like that.
All right. Go ahead. I understand. If 58,000's number, well, that wouldn't be the GIS employee that was. It's all the FICA and the perf would add up, but my next question was gonna be the updated estimated revenue for 2026.
yes, I provided new Form 2s for everybody, so we can go over that too.
Yes, please.
Did you want the numbers for outside of general?
Currently, I would like to just stick with general for a moment.
I had that,
On
where we
your,
already, that included the GIS specialist, correct?
I was just asking if,
I already have a special 58.
but I think we had kept it in there.
Okay, that's the difference, okay.
Correct, Bill? Is that
It's
what
in there.
you're,
It should be in there, yeah.
yes, as of right now, I think we've left that in there.
all right, on the Form 2s, your R119. Both of those for 2025 and for 2026 increased. We now have 600,000 for the rest of this year and 1,100,000 for 2026. And then our 414 increased for 2026 to yes. Changed to 3,413,880.
This new one is what you're reading.
Yes, yes. I'm just telling you where the changes are. And then our 902 increased in both 2025 and 2026. 2025 is now 1,605,500. And then 2026 is 2,311,000. $40 for the planning, and then the Sheriff? Yes. The 414 does include the reimbursement for planning.
Planning
Yes.
and for the engineer?
Just for planning.
We have not added in the engineer yet.
For this year or next year or
For
both?
next year, because when we were doing it, we still hadn't had a confirmation email yet.
Okay.
So. It's not in there.
Okay. Are those all the changes to revenue?
Just for county general, there was one more change that you guys should have got an email about. For public safety, R134, the amount for 2026 decreased. It's on the last page. R134, Lowett Public Safety.
Yep.
It went down to 143,776. Yeah, and that one's just the one for the prosecutor. That one doesn't affect the other ones.
More than likely, the engineer money will apply to the R414 as well, as far as what line it's going to go on. We haven't checked it to be 100% sure, but we're 95% sure.
Alright, so in our second half of 25 revenues increased by 700,000. Put the mic on. So our 2025 revenues for the second half of the year increased by 700,000. And
In
our
general or a whole?
total. And I'm just validating that that's correct, right?
I believe so.
Okay, well, yeah. And then the increase that we have in total for our revenues for 26 has increased by 491,024. Is that what everyone else is getting? Sure.
Jessica, I guess what number you started?
I took the numbers of the total on the Form 2 we got at the beginning of budget,
The August 20, on the bottom of that date is August 26th, is that?
August 2nd.
That's
I mean,
August 2nd.
September 2nd.
September
September 2nd, which
Okay.
is what was provided to us on day
Sure.
one. And then subtracting this number from what's provided here on this September 12th report.
Did you say for 2026, 491,024?
Yes,
Okay,
that's what you got.
yeah.
Okay.
You were including the lit decrease.
Yeah, I was
which is
looking at
outside
the-
of general, but
yeah.
that's the grand total. Okay, I'm with you. Now, if we all add in the 40,000 on both 2025 and 2026, that'll account for the engineer money that we have not accounted for yet. So if everybody wants to add that in, we can all be on the same page.
Yes.
So 740,000.
Yep. What was the decrease in that lit again?
15,976.
Let me subtract that from that 49, what number? Since to your point, that is not 15,976. So for county general, I have 475,048.
$7,000.
475,048.
What's the total?
And then if we add that 40 in,
Are you talking about 25 or 26?
26. Hold on. 40,000 even. So now it's giving me a 26 number for general. 515,048. 515,048.
So not 600 where it was before.
Correct, that was a wrong number. 515,048.
Here? Is it pulling from salary?
Do you have an updated 2026 miscellaneous
Salary?
revenue
The
number
salary
for today?
Yes.
No.
Would you be willing to give it to us, please?
Yes. For 2026, the updated revenue, including the 40,000 for next year, is 17,486,005.
Tanya, has there been any adjustments for the property tax levy number yet? Or is it an update?
No.
Okay. So then our updated taxes and revenue number, you have that, Elizabeth?
Sorry. I did have it till we added the 40. That is
Let me write this down.
38,642,080.
Miscellaneous revenue, 17,486,005. Elizabeth just rounded off, which is revenue and taxes is 38,642,280.
What about our ending balance then?
That's gonna be my next question. 'Cause that should have fluctuated some too.
By 740 grand, right?
Just trying to redo this chart that you got right there in front of you. Just trying to get updated numbers for everyone.
No, I'm just trying to.
Yep.
Piece of paper.
And if you're ready, I have the new operating balance for 2026.
Do you have the estimated ending balance for 2025, or
Yeah, I have a new one for that.
can you give us both of them, please?
Yes. So the estimated ending balance for 2025 is, oh, well, actually, hold on, sorry, I forgot to add the 40 to that one too.
Sure.
All right. The estimated ending balance for 2025 is 8,218,318.
That includes givebacks that have been turned in so far.
No, none of these include givebacks. That gets added in separate for when we adopt.
Bless you.
We're not able to calculate that until after the resolution has been adopted for that.
The new number for the estimated ending balance for 26, please.
All right. And the estimated operating balance for 2026 is 3,927,268. $3,927,268.
In calculating the revenue, what figure did you use for the property tax impact? Is it the same one that
It's the same
started
one.
with 8,593,925?
Yes.
My thing's not working.
What do you need now?
I'm just gonna make sure everybody's on the same page as I am with what we have here. Current requested budget for 26 is 42,893,130.
Mhm.
Taxes and revenue estimated for 26, 38,642,080. Estimated ending cash balance 25 is 8,218,318. Estimated 26 ending cash balance is 3,927,268. If we leave a $6 million balance, my calculation,
6.5 or 6.7.
if I said just 6 million.
Yeah.
6 million. We've got $2,218,318 over that ending balance. Take that off of the difference between the revenue and the estimated budget. We still have $2,032,000 left to cut out of our budget request.
And again, that's not including any of the givebacks.
Correct.
Right.
I'm sorry, what's your total you got?
Which total do you want?
Well, you said 2 million what?
2,032,732.
Well, it doesn't include these.
I got 2,072,732,
Yeah, I got 2,017,732.
including that 40,000.
Okay.
But do keep in mind, this didn't, we were discussing the fact that of the savings of the clinic, that we can't really
Sure.
like tie in.
Sure. And at the time that we recessed last time, Mr. Hughes asked us not to calculate that in there. That's one of the topics for discussion. Yeah, I just wanted to give council an idea of where we were at currently.
Yeah, I just
Before we
wanted you to know
start.
we didn't have any way of like tying that in,
Right.
really. in our calcs.
Sure. Does council want to go over the give back so they have everybody has an accurate number of that? All right. Jessica, do you have a
Yep.
updated list?
They're gonna be all over the place, so. All right, page 9, line 310. Have a give back at 3,000. Treasurer.
I'm
Department
sorry,
127.
those have changed.
Give backs?
The
25?
the line amount that you just read. The total I don't think has
310.
changed much.
On 310?
Yeah,
3,000?
yeah, that's changed. I just went over them with him.
Breakdown.
Cool. Okay, well then we need to go, then we're gonna have to go through all of these.
Okay.
How about,
what-
you want me to go through and you make a note and then we'll come back?
I've,
See
I've
if
got
there's-
it in front of me if we want to.
Start at the top?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Coming out of 310 is $320. Out of line,
Hold on, let me
you're
try to
fine.
figure out where I wanna put this now. Minus 310,
Well, 320.
320. Line 310,
All right.
correct?
Yes,
Minus what?
320.
320. Wow, that's a lot less than.
Don't
okay.
worry, we've got more here.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let me, you know what, let me do this a different way then. If there's a lot more in the treasurer, you're saying?
About 4 more lines.
Okay, let's just go to the. Not go this way then. Let me go about this differently. Minus 320. Okay.
All right. Line 331. 3,625.
3,625.
Yes.
So do we not have 1,000 anymore out of 322?
No.
Okay.
625. It's a give back.
Changing up my whole vibe here. All right.
Line 361. 125.
$125.
Line 391. 15. Yes. Line 393. 95.
Said 95.
Yes. And the total give back from them should be 4,180.
Yeah, I'll let you guys go, and if I see anything else pop up, I'll holler, cause I,
Okay, Department 137. Already forgot. Page 19.
I have 10,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Should just be line 310 for 10,000. And on page 20, Department 138. All right. Line 138, 500. Line 310, 13,130. Line 390, 30,000. The total givebacks for that department should be 43,630. And that's all we have for county general. The total giveback amount is 57,810. Yep. And then we also have some givebacks for health on page 55. What page? 55. So out of line 107, 101 should be 16,482.
I only have the one give back. You, because he has new ones. Sorry. What page is that again? 55?
Page 55. 107, 101.
Oh, that's just out of salary and wages.
Yes.
I guess that is bucketed, so, okay.
60,182
It's
total.
16,482 out of that line. And then out of 111, 101 is 15,582. And the total should be 32,064.
32,064.
Yes. Yes, that's it.
That's it.
Any other updated numbers, adjustments that we need to know?
Not right now.
All right. Mr. Hughes, you said you had a list. Let's start going through them, please.
Yeah, we can afford
Okay.
it.
That is the 1159 account of theirs, right? That's the 1159 fund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just to let everyone know, I plan on breaking for lunch at about 12:30.
Thought you were gonna pull a Ballard move and do your presentation at the podium.
These are the items I discussed at our last meeting. Proposed pay increases in 4 departments. We've taken care of highway, so that's off the table. Communications 911, $1,000 increases for all the communication technicians, plus FICA, plus PERF. Plan Commission, rather than $1,000 increase for the planners and support staff, I've included the recommendations from the executive director. And included in that is a significant increase for the principal planner, which is at 107, 101. If you recall, last year, if I'm correct, that position had been vacant, so there was going to be a new person coming in, so that was not considered for an increase last year, I think is how I got so far behind. Maybe Kylie can refresh my recollection, but
Kylene Swackhammer, Plan Commission. I believe the results of the salary study, I think, played a part in that being so far off of the other 3 planner positions. And I'm not sure why. The requirements are the same. The education is the same. In the past, all of those planner positions have been equal across the board. So that was one of my strong suggestions, that we get that one back up there with those other positions, as they are equal positions.
thank you. Commissioners, those are the 5 support staff for building maintenance, $1,000 increase each. Then EMS is a $1,000 increase for each of the paramedics and EMTs. So the total of all the adjustments, and doesn't include workers' comp, because I don't know how to figure that, but it does include FICA and PERF. The total of adjustments, these adjustments would be $93,643. Obviously, we've got to be confident that we have the money to fund that. I think we're pretty close. I don't know that we've really pressed our department heads and elected officials to come up with givebacks, because I think in the past we've been able to find more than $57,000 in unspent money from the current year. So between now and adoption, I think that's one avenue that ought to be pursued. We can certainly look at budgets again and see if there are any other items in the 2026 budget that might need adjustment that would save us some money, but we've been pretty thorough, so I'm not confident that we would find very much there. And I think we've been also pretty diligent in searching out other miscellaneous revenue. I don't know that there's much more to be found there, but where I think the possibility is that we can find those givebacks, and we will be going in over, as I think we've talked about before. So I'm going to stick with my recommendation, but obviously it still comes down to dollars.
I'm confused. We have 2 million $327,000 to go.
Actually, after the numbers we just went over, I need to update this. So we've got 2,072,732 is the number I have left to go to cut.
Where did you, you
The
said,
600,000 minus the 3,972,268 number. Gives you 2,072,732
And that's at the $6 million
operating balance.
operating balance.
If we
We had also
reduce,
talked about 550 as a possibility.
if we
5
go
million,
down to
500.
550, that leaves us left to cut 1,572,268. Left to cut.
You're talking about taking the operating balance down to 5.5 million.
If we were to do that,
Yeah.
that's the number.
Make my comment that I'm not in favor of reducing the balance to fund raises because that is not sustainable over the next years as we receive budgets going forward. I mean, if you're going to do that, then you're constantly eating into your operating balance unless revenues are miraculously higher, which they're not forecasted to be.
Well, we're forecasting an operating balance at the end of this year of 8,218,000. We're going to use part of that operating balance.
Correct, and we calculated that in there. The estimated balance at the end of next year, not counting your additional adjustments, was less than 4 million.
I agree, and if that picture doesn't change, we can't afford the raises, I agree. But I assume we're still a work in progress.
But we're still trying to deal with the numbers in front of us, and the numbers dictate that the balance for the end of operating balance for the end of next year, we're gonna be $4 million shorter than we actually 4,200 or 4,300. I'm sorry, $4,300,000 shorter next year than this year. And I think that's the dilemma that we need to address now, not kick the can down the road to the end of the year and then kind of see where we're at. That doesn't, the logic doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know if between now and budget adoption date, whether we'll have any more information on our health insurance, the change in the clinic that we've discussed.
well, we've included, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's included.
No, because they don't know where to put it.
They don't know where to put it, they
I
don't
took
know
it
what
out
the
now.
amount
I have
is, the negotiations.
It's like gonna be some of it, but we can't count any of this right now. That's some of,
Because we had an $850,000 number there,
yeah.
Correct.
and we have not included that in your tech calculation today.
Not the new one, because they have nowhere to put it.
Yep.
And if we don't have anywhere to put it, we can't count it.
And council didn't give them the guidance when we recessed last time to account for it.
No, but we can calculate
We
it
can, I
mentally.
can drop
yes.
it in, sure, but
And I would agree that we should, at least a large percentage of it.
I agree. I think they just need, we need to know
I
where
think
it
the
goes.
percentage should actually be larger, because I think we should be cutting our premium costs as part of our budget plan to force commissioners to adjust the percentage to the employees, which is another kicking the can down the road discussion that's happening. Because if it's not this year, it's gonna be next year, and it's gonna be next year worse than it is this year. So that's probably a discussion we need to have collectively, I would guess, but, so even with that number,
Let's just say. What's it gonna say? Have.
I do have a suggestion on how we could account for it. We do a resolution for the give backs line by line. We could do that from the commissioners, like whatever amount they want to say we will be saving at the same time. We just can't put it in our gateway system. There's not a spot for it there.
understood, okay.
Unless we reduce the health insurance lines, but, or the liability.
in the 2025, it should be a part of that resolution or a give back of sorts. Is that what you're saying? No.
No, I think she was just saying have them put it in writing that we're going to save that much.
Oh.
And then calculate for it on the appropriate line within the commissioner's budget or whatever we need to do, because we can't really put it into Gateway unless we reduce those lines, you know, whatever lines those are going to be.
Tanya, can I ask regarding the operating balance, how far does the county run that down over the course of a general month? We're maintaining a $6 million operating balance. Does that go to $1 million or go to 500,000 or just a guess?
No, on a regular monthly basis, I would say it's from what you see on a monthly basis on the financials that she prints off, I would say it pretty much stays near the 6, don't you?
Without looking at a report, because my thing's not pulling up, I do know it gets pretty low right before settlement, like before. we
Yeah,
issue
like we
the
talked
settlement.
about
The April
before, it's those 2
2025.
times a year.
Right.
But as far as on a monthly basis, I think it stays more
Yeah.
like around 5.5, 6.5,
Okay.
maybe
So
more.
settlement time, how low is it?
Well, right before settlement,
It's
Matt
gonna be
had the
$1 million.
paperwork. Yeah, he
Yeah.
went over all of that, and there was months that he saw it as low as 2.
This year it's been less. It's 1.89 was in April. The end
Okay.
of the statement
Was
was
the lowest,
1.89
lowest carrying balance the county had?
thus far this year.
And I know a couple years ago, that's when I stated that
Yeah,
we were kind of in dire straits of doing the advanced draw because we were like literally going to be in the negative. But then that's when we brought up the fact of having them move that big premium insurance payment to after June. So that will help us because that's a large payment that was being paid out at the beginning of the year prior to that advanced draw of like $500,000 or whatever. So therefore moving that will also help keep that higher, hopefully, prior to the advanced draw.
And 24 was about 2.2 million in April.
Okay.
Just again, cash position, end of the month. Now we don't have cash flow analysis. We don't have other typical business reports to see how the ebb and flow is even within the month. I know Commissioner Brands had to step out for a meeting, and we probably need to pick this up after that, but we've requested, I know the auditor's office doesn't like the idea, but ultimately if the state would allow us to get some of those draws more than twice a year, we could level cash flow as well, you know. Not forcing us to sit at a $6 million number, which is really just a $6 million number primarily. Well, one, it gains us interest, so there's a positive to it, but ultimately, you know, to me, that's, you know, from a taxpayer perspective, not how we would want to be doing it. So I think it's, but that's here nor there, because ultimately that would be a state level change, and that's not happening anytime soon, so it doesn't really matter. But ultimately, that's why we got to do it. So that's the challenge here. And again, back to the line of credit discussion, if in April we got to close to a negative, or we need to pay the payroll or something crazy, then, you know, you could draw from that if in an emergency. But that's, again, last resort, in my opinion. So, you know, we've had multiple discussions about that operating balance. I obviously have been for 2+ years now complaining about it, that, you know, it's too high just based on what we spend and what we end up at the end of the year. To your point, you know, we're at 8 last year. I think we had it was like 10 or 9 or 10 or something. So I mean, it's a guesstimate basically, you know. And so, you know, sometimes we have more money than we are using it, you know, or needing to use it potentially. So it's not a perfect science. At the same time, we're going to get harder, and ultimately our department heads, as department heads, are going to have to manage their business more effectively than they do today. And that's the bottom line of the next 2 years that it sits. You're going to have to find ways to cut. You're going to have to find ways to attrition people in order for us to be prepared for 2028. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And so, to Councilman Mokel's point, the more Band-Aid we pull off now, maybe the better off we're gonna be. So I think we have to seriously discuss, attrition, hiring freeze, you know, things of that nature, health insurance premiums, other minor things, you know, which we don't see in the budget, but, you know, Jim brought up previously around transferring money within departments. I think we probably need to lock some of these things down or back down. I agree with him when, you know, right now within a 1,000 line or 2,000 line, department heads are free to, you know, move money around however they see fit, but we need to look at all of our spending. So that too is probably something we need to consider. We've got a salary ordinance that we probably need to look at too. Overtime, you know, how many staff in certain departments. There's a horde of things that we probably need to consider with even if it's just $1 million or $1.5 million to go. To me, we gotta start making some hard choices.
To me, the easy choice this year is to dip into our operating balance. Then we can all leave and everybody can leave happy this year. To me, the compound effect of that will be next year. We don't address it. We don't address any part of it this year. So now we have kind of the double jeopardy going on for next year. And then first thing you know, we're dipping into more of it next year. And then 2028 comes along and it really hits the fan that year. And yes, I can agree to the point that we have what could be considered an excess this year. To me, part of that is going to be an emergency fund that, granted, we may not need it for 2026, but it looks to me, based on conversations that we have all had, that in 2027, it's going to get worse. And in 2028, it's going to get a lot worse. And that to me is where, if we're going to need to be looking at reducing our operating balance, that's where the money should be considered, taking part of our operating balance at that particular point in time. If then we can even afford to do it, that's when we should look at doing it. Not this year, not next year. I'm afraid taking the easy way out this year is just going to really lead to more problems. And I just think we really need to reconsider that.
I don't disagree.
The other side of a hiring freeze would be, we ought to look at a retirement incentive program.
We did that in 2020.
Well, in addition to that, you know, from an attrition standpoint, the hourly, you know, 32.5-hour weeks, if you've got 10 employees and you eliminate one or two and put everybody else at 40 and pay them appropriately, then we've eliminated, you know, benefits and perf and other things. You're going to end up saving money. So, you know, again, nobody wants to hear that, and I don't even like to say it, but ultimately those are the choices that we're going to come down to.
I do want to say that I would personally feel like I don't want to reduce the operating balance. That makes me very, very nervous, but I would be willing to consider the 500,000 with the assumption of the liability insurance payment moving, right? So we don't get in that pickle that spend before the tax draw. I would have a little more comfort there. But to Jim's point, we are just kicking the can. So that's kind of where I stand at this very moment.
All right, a lot of good comments there. None of them help us get to our final budget number, in my opinion.
They don't.
Back to Mr. Hughes' adjustments that he would like to see. Right now, I don't see the revenue there to be able to fund them. I'm not supportive of them as we sit right now.
I am supportive of correcting anything that's broken, which in the Planning Commission's case is at least one position, that 35, the 107, 101. If that in fact is basically a miss or some sort of problem, then we should be correcting that.
I would agree with that one.
I agree as well. Just that one.
31.
While you're working on that, I would remind you of the information that Eileen gave us as far as the reimbursements that they receive for all of their salaries. And they're pretty significant. Should have that page available to you.
Yeah, I certainly support the commission across the board. Bill, was there a total of just plan commission on here?
9,000,
Just to clarify, that would be taking it up to 44.5 with everybody else for 2025.
$9,790 plus the perf and the
In the FICA?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I guess before we try to make adjustments of salary increases, where do you feel like, if I'm at a number of about 2 million we still need to cut, what number are you all familiar or comfortable with to get down to? Because we need to discuss just exactly the number on the health insurance savings potential with premiums and the clinic. Right now I have, based off Mr. Hughes' comments last time we met, I didn't count any savings in there. What is your opinion?
on the health insurance.
Yes.
I defer to Matt. He's the committee that's met and had those discussions.
Well, I wasn't on the, talking about the health insurance committee that they put together. I was not there for that, actually.
Okay.
We should visit that with Commissioner Brand when he gets back.
Yeah.
I think.
Talk to Commissioner Brand, I guess.
And I know he had some ideas that he's shared with us that I'd like to talk to him further about too, so maybe we
Want to recess for lunch now until he returns with a lot more information for us all?
perhaps.
Y'all comfortable with that?
Yep.
All right, we're in recess for lunch. We'll take about an hour. How's that? See when Steve will get back.